All right, I think we're coming on live, everybody. Hello, say hi to everybody.
Hello.
So it's not quite 12, so we're just going to hang out for a minute or two while people start to get on the live feed. So yeah, we'll just banter a little bit until that time. I don't know about you guys, but I'm watching a lot of TV these days. How about you guys? Any favorite Netflix shows?
All of them.
Yeah.
I keep seeing people sharing, different channels talking about all of their favorite Netflix shows. Yeah, so a few people are starting to arrive. I see Cindy from the OAC arriving. Natalie, aloha. Ruth from the Optical group.
Hi, Ruth. Who here missed New York this year? Was everyone supposed to go to New York?
Oh.
Can you believe it? Yes. I mean, the poor shows, hey? It is, it's pretty crazy. Well, okay, so 12, we are missing one of our panelists. She was on and then she froze. So
There she is.
I was just about to say, if you guys can mute. Everybody mute. All right, I was just Christina, one of you guys has to mute. Oh, don't, there she goes again. She's definitely having some internet problems. So it's 12 o'clock. We are gonna get started. I'm pretty excited about this one today, especially because I'm a licensed optician. We've been doing a lot of talks for optometrists and pretty excited to do one, for opticians today. Anyways, I want to start by thanking the OAC and the Optical group for really partnering and helping put this together. So make sure you guys are all muted. And, thanks again for, helping us get connected with all the opticians out there. Some housekeeping rules before we get started. There's a comments field. Please throw your comments in there. We're monitoring them. We see them. If you can see, we see them. We have a lot of questions we're going to ask our panelists today, but we will definitely try to incorporate some of your questions either during our talk or at the end. So please, feel free, say hello, pop in, tell us that you're here. I'm going to introduce the panel in a sec, but I want to start by, saying we're going to talk today about what's happening in their world. These are all optician optical owners. We're going to chat about what they're going through, what they're experiencing now that they've been closed for a couple weeks. And then we're really going to dive into what are they doing and, suggestions that they have to be more proactive during this time, maybe get some business during this time as well as be there for their customers. And, first, before we get started, I'll just welcome you myself. I'm Trudy Charay. I'm one of the co-founders of Marketing for ECPs. We are a digital marketing agency focused in eye care. We work with opticians every single day, helping them, really grow their business with the power of digital marketing. And, excited to really see where we can take opticians. I'm going to tell you who's on this call, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves. I'm going to run through the names real quick, and then I'll start individually. So we've got Kim Drina from the Optical group, or from the Eye Care group. We have Christina Obachal from the Eye Care group. Maybe you guys just wave. We've got Justin Berry from Justin Berry Optical. And we've got Roberta McLaughlin as well. And she's from 2020 Vision Care. So we're going to just get you guys to come on, tell us a little bit about you, a little bit about your optical store and where you're from. So let's start with you, Kim.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Trudy, for the introduction. A little bit about me. I graduated from NAIT as a licensed optician and a contact lens fitter, and I run the eye care group with my sister in St. Albert and Edmonton, Alberta. Our business now is seeing fourth generation patients, so our success has been long-term personal touch with great products and service. I think building relationships in our community has made it a big difference for our customers, and honestly, I just love helping people with their vision and giving the gift of sight.
Wonderful, thank you. Let's move right over to your sister, Christina. Oh, you got to unmute.
Hi, thanks, Trudy. So my sister and I, Kim, have run the Optical Eye Care Group since we were kids. I remember being 13 years old, seeing patients and filing records. So it's been a growth for the two of us going through this industry from the beginning to where we are today. I have two small girls, husband, and they keep me very busy. And running the business, on top of all of that is definitely rewarding. Working with the family can be challenging, but you know what? You work through those hiccups. And that just, that's kind of in a nutshell where we are.
Wonderful. So moving on to Justin.
Hello, I'm Justin. I have a store in Bowmanville, Ontario. I've had my store for 25 years. It started with just me, myself, and now we have 4 opticians, 3 optometrists, 1 optometry student, and some support staff. And we're just, this is really crazy because it's, I didn't realize how much I love to talk to people till I can't talk to anybody. So thanks for having me so I can keep on talking.
Oh, sorry, that was me. Thanks, Justin. And Roberta.
Hi, I'm Roberta McLaughlin. My business is 2020 Vision Care. I've been self-employed now for 32 years. I am extremely passionate about my career, my business, my patients. And Justin, to your point, I cannot believe not being able to talk to people on a daily basis. So thanks very much for the opportunity to share some information, and hopefully I'll learn a few things this afternoon as well. Thank you so much.
I know we did this last week with some optometry practices, and everybody learned something. Everybody picked up something. This is about sharing right now what's going on in your life, and maybe how you're dealing with it, and hope that this is helping other people out there as well. So we thought we'd start with a little bit of fun. Are you guys ready? I know COVID-19, not so fun, but we thought, let's do this. We're going to go around to our panelists using one word only. Describe the situation you are in your business. So we're going to go backwards. Roberta.
Surreal.
Surreal. Justin.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Christina. Say that again.
Perplexed.
Perplexed. And last but not least, Kim.
Stunned.
Stunned. Yes, I get it, you guys. I would say surreal was a good one for me. I think I get up every day, thinking that this is not really happening. Is this really happening? Could we actually be prepared for this? And, I'm stealing this from my business partner, Kevin. And we talked about how the first 14 days as a business, because we're a business, we own a digital marketing agency. First 14 days as a business, we were in defense mode. Defense. What do we do? Daily things were changing. We had no concept. we'd never been through this as a business, let's face it, right? And we're all learning daily. And this week, Kevin said, let's get on the offense. Let's move forward. Let's figure out what we need to do to truly come out of this as a viable company still. We've got to protect the company and work on the offense. So I think it was really good for all of us. Not that we've been immobile, but it mobilized us. So I loved the analogy of switching to offense. And so I'm going to ask some individual questions. Feel free, the rest of the panel, to jump in here and there. Kim, we're going to start with you. What are some of the things you have done, I guess, to close? You've got 3 optical stores. What are some of the things that you've done to close your optical stores and get them to the place that they are right now?
So we actually have closed down one of our locations and left 2 remaining locations with modified hours. We still have some optometrists that are still working with us that are seeing emergency appointments. So whether it be medically related or even for broken emergency glasses. So we do have a few of that filtering through our locations. And so that's what we've done in the moment. So and again, like, we've had to lay off our team, and it's just Christina and myself that are running everything at the moment. It makes you realize how grateful you are for your team when you don't have a team anymore.
I'm sure.
Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at to date.
Okay, great. Thank you. I can totally relate. I don't know what I'd do without the people right now. And majority of practices and optical stores, you've had to lay off your staff. So it is you. And I know I've talked to Kim and Christine, and we're going to get back to you guys in a minute about this question, but you've had to really dive back into parts of the business you hadn't worked on for a while. And so, as an owner, you're like, I haven't been doing this. It's my staff been doing this. So I'm sure that's an interesting, task right now, is trying to figure out some of the things you haven't done for a while. Moving over to Justin, let's chat a little bit. What are you currently offering to your customers? I don't know if you have a optometrist on site like Kim and Christina do. Maybe tell us a little bit of what you're currently offering.
So what we're doing right now, I come into the store every morning from 9 till 1, but the door is locked and we have signs on the door. But if somebody breaks their glasses, I tell them they can come one at a time. They can come in, we'll get them fixed up. And we also have the optometry office right next door. So when we leave the store, both the optometrist and myself, our cell phones are hooked up. So if somebody calls, we just they get us on their cell phone. And like on Tuesday night, we had to come in. Someone had a piece of metal in their eye, so we had to come in at 6 o'clock, and we got the person fixed up. So we're just doing that, and we're just trying to help people out if we can, but we're not trying to sell new glasses or anything like that, unless it's emergency purposes. So that's what we're doing.
Okay, great. Are you guys all about the same? You can nod or jump in.
Yeah, I think we're trying to do the best we can with what we're working with. We've had some situations where we have patients who are looking for work and they need forms filled out for their work. So we're just trying to be as accommodating as we can, handing out cell phone numbers and just trying to stay engaged with them as much as we possibly can during this time.
Yeah, and on that note, just letting them know that we're here to help, whatever that they may need during this time.
Great. I was also thinking, yesterday I was doing an e-commerce webinar. Last couple of days been a lot about e-commerce, and I'm sure with all the layoffs that's happening right now, people are going to have extended benefits, but those benefits may only be good for a month or 3 months. Potentially looking at how can I use my benefits. So an opportunity out there maybe. Hey, Roberta?
I can't hear you, Trudy.
Oh.
I can't hear you.
Okay, so I think you might have something with your audio. Okay, we're going to move on to another question. Can you hear it all yet, Roberta? No, can't hear. No volume. We can hear you. Okay, I'm gonna. You keep working on that. I just sent you a text, and you keep. I'm gonna move on to another question. Christina, we're gonna maybe move to you. Can
There we go.
maybe mute for 1 second, Christina? Any plans to drive revenue? I'll come back to you, Roberta. Any plans to drive revenue remotely right now? Email blast, e-commerce, texting, calling?
This is for me. Okay, so it's kind of a process, actually, is the way I felt, because in the beginning, yes, I wanted to reach out because I'm like, oh my gosh, like business is going to a standstill. What are we going to do? So, my first inclination is we've got to get that appointment booked. However, that's not what is really needed here, right? They're needed to come forth with some passion, some caring, some understanding is really what our customers and our client and the public needed to hear from us. So that was, I think, the first objective. And when I started doing some e-blasts, which we do some e-blasts with some of the MailChimp we use, which I find to be really, really beneficial. It was putting that out at that level, where it was that caring level. Because this is, I think, going through an evolution, I think we're moving into a stage that's now more of a bit of a hopeful stage, because I think we're like, okay, the near is coming. Where are we at? So the panic, I think, has passed, and some normalcy in our chaos has actually kicked in. So this second stage, I feel like now we can start maybe doing a little bit more of the educating, going out there and doing a little bit more of like some of the services that we can provide, start pre-booking those appointments and maybe doing a touch bit of education. Going back onto the MailChimp, that's actually worked really well with us. And before EPCS, they've been able to provide a nice opportunity with the Tree, maybe you can help me here, is like your social media library.
Yeah. So we do. You'll have to mute, Christine. Yeah. I unmuted. We've been helping Christine and Kim. We help them with everything from email blasts to their customers, letting them know what's happening right now in this time, as well as social posts to really explain, hey, we're closed, but this is what we're offering, and finding different ways to communicate really what's going on day to day, because it has been changing in your practice. So I'm going to jump maybe over to another question, and I'm going to open it up to all of you guys. So I know, as we said, I know that Christina and Kim do have optometrists on site, and what are the optometrists themselves? Are they working? Are they taking emergency visits? Are you guys still, offering that as a service?
We are taking only emergency appointments right now, and anything that's possibly urgent. So the optometrists have to abide by their rules, and we're just respecting that as we go along. So we're just really funneling through. There are patients who want to come in. They're like, oh, I got some time off. We're like, no, we've got to push that out to the future. But we're taking that opportunity to provide the times for them so that we are still capturing that and helping, to keep them accountable for what they're wanting to do with their vision care.
Roberta, we lost you for a sec there. You're back. Can you unmute and unmute? Yep.
Trudy, I haven't been able to hear you for the past 5 minutes. Sorry.
Okay, can you hear now?
I can hear everybody.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yes, gotta love technology. We're all fighting a little bit technology issues, period, because they say the bandwidth with internet is really bad. So I did this hotspotting the other day, so I know I was cutting in and out. And so don't worry. I'm sure everybody online right now realizes we're all dealing with our own technology issues. I'm glad you can hear me. And what we were asking, Roberta, do you have an optometrist in your optical store?
No, I have a lot of optometrists very close to me that I have good working relationships with and a good rapport. So I entertained the thought a couple of years ago, but honestly, it's really not necessary for me. I built a nice enough rapport and a referral business with the people in my area. So I send the patient over, they send the patient back. So it works quite well. They're very
Great.
loyal. Yeah,
What-
very loyal.
What are you doing right now for offering any emergency services? We kind of lost you in that part of it, so I'll ask you that one again.
So much like Justin, I go to work most days. The doors are closed. I'm in a mall setting, so those doors are locked as well. We basically do what we call a curbside service. So we position people so that they're not all in this. Book them appointments. So say one comes at 10, one comes at 11. So the social distancing. I had my store sterilized or disinfected last week. Basically all the touch points, everything in there was cleaned and done. So the only people that are really in my store are myself and my other optician. So we look after all the emergencies. We're doing the direct mail with the contact lenses. We're engaging them every day in social media. We're trying to find the bright lights. So we're posting new products, new pictures, new features, and trying to keep them engaged that way.
Great. That's wonderful.
It's fun.
Are you looking at any remote services like e-commerce, adding a way to sell some products to your customers at this point?
It's pretty difficult besides contact lenses. We did help out a physician yesterday who was looking for a pair of glasses to offer him more protection. So we did FaceTime remotely fit him with a new pair of glasses yesterday. So it's quite difficult to do that. And where our optometrists aren't working, you're not seeing any new scripts. So it's not a real way to build.
I want to tell you a quick story that I heard yesterday, which I thought was brilliant. And it's a practice that is just looking to be innovative and how can I continue to keep some sales going. So they decided that they are going to do some video dispensing and video selling. And so what they're going to do is use, a function similar to this or Zoom, or there's a lot of them out there where they can have this one-on-one connection with somebody, look at their face shape and their coloring, and look at their, potential current glasses and go to the frame boards because they're in their optical, social distancing, of course, with nobody else in there. And they can pick out some frames and basically help them decide if this might be a frame for them. And then they can mail them to a couple choices to the customer to see if they like them. They can try them on at home, send them back. Now, there's probably still things that we have to try to figure out. Maybe they have the PD on file, but if there's more to it, like say heights or measurements, that's where it gets a little more complicated. But I thought brilliant, like just keeping that dialogue going. And any other like brilliant ideas like that, you guys? Have you had any ideas of how you can, potentially engage with your customers right now?
Actually, I want to make note to that. Earlier in March, mid-March, when the pandemic happened and they are actually suggesting seniors to stay home, we had a lot of patient orders that still needed to be edged into patients' own frames. And so I was going out and visiting and picking up the glasses, getting them edged, and then going back to their home. So I really, really enjoyed that one-on-one time that I had with the seniors. I mean, at that time, I was wearing gloves. wasn't wearing masks at the time because it was still the early stages. But it brought us onto a point that, you know what, we need to maybe focus on more of that virtual one-on-one part of our business. And this can open up whole new opportunities, which can be a completely different revenue source than what we thought of before.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Really, it's going to be a new normal from now on as far as how we do business and how we look at business, how we get business, how we advertise to people. No matter when we come out of this, it is going to be different. And so I think looking at new technology and how we can utilize it to better our business is really important right now. On that note, we were talking a little bit about, dealing with the customer during the first stages. What are you guys noticing with customers right now? What is the patient behavior? Have they gone silent on you? Are they contacting you? What are you guys noticing with customer behavior right now? Maybe start with you, Christina.
I have felt that for the on the large part, they have gotten quite silent. Optometry is not necessarily, I think, looked in a pandemic like this as super important unless it's somebody who's really urgently needing some care on some level. So it's just, I think it's continually having that gentle reminder that, hey, you know what, we're still here. We can still help you. And we're being creative about it, right? Doing some, getting a little bit more personal, I find too. The higher level of engagement, like Kim was saying, going to people's homes, changes them. We're coming to them versus them coming to us. So yeah, a little bit of a switch in the dynamic of it all.
Great. How about you, Justin? What are you noticing with your customers right now and how they're interacting with you?
Well, I'm the same. I think people have more on their mind than buying new glasses at this time, unless they really need them. But what I think is maybe when it all comes back around, for us that have smaller places and personal service, it will be even better for us because, maybe people will want to make appointments more so to buy their glasses. They don't want anyone else in the shop, and it'll make it even better for us to, people aren't just grabbing all kinds of frames and pulling stuff down in your store. It'd be like, it'll be easier for us to take control of situations. Say, no, you need to sit down. We're gonna help you. We're gonna guide you into the right place, and you can't just go pulling everything down off the boards and stuff. So I think for the people that, if it'd be more like, a German optical store or something where the opticians really have control, which I think will be nice for us anyways. And so I think things may just change once people come back shopping again. But we need to make it a positive thing and a good thing, and I think it will be.
I agree. I don't disagree with that. I think it could be even, as we get back to business, if you look at what's happening in China right now, on the news, they're really showing that businesses are limiting how many people can come in. There's still social distancing as people are coming back to the business. There's literally the same, chalked out lineups outside businesses waiting for people to go in. Maybe that's how we get back to business. Maybe we have to book appointments for people to come in and pick up their glasses. It's going to be, as we said, probably a little bit different world. I'm gonna jump into a couple other questions. I would love to know what you guys are doing as a business. So let's put your business hats on. What are you guys doing as a business right now? Looking for everything from, how can you cut expenses to what is the government offering? Maybe talk a little bit about your staff situation and what you've done there. I really want to hear some tips on what you're doing for business. So I'm going to jump to Roberta first.
Sure. So the government has some really good programs right now. The CRB program should roll out, I believe, on the 6th. So it'll allow you to borrow up to $40,000. And depending upon what your payroll runs at the end of it, at the end of the story, if you will, when we're all back to normal and you have to pay it back in a year's time, 10% of it potentially can be forgivable. So there's, money on the table there. This province is offering anyone that is self-employed or unemployed at this point in time $900 right now that you can apply through the Red Cross. So it puts money in everybody's pockets. Hopefully this week. I laid my staff off, but I've also told them that if they have issues with their EI, that I will certainly help them and cover them until they do receive their EI. And there is another subsidy program that they can apply for that will allow them to top up their salary. So that's also out there. The Business Development Bank will lend you up to $100,000 right now, interest-free for a year. The application process for that actually is quite easy. And with my suppliers, basically what I've done is I've reached out, said, I may not be able to pay you in full this month, but I am going to pay you something. The biggest thing you need to do is reach out to people, let them know that you're still there, let them know you're not going to ghost them and you are going to pay your bill, because we know we all have to pay our bills eventually, because that's what makes the world go round. But I think at the end of it, as long as you communicate with everyone you're doing business with, we'll survive this quite nicely.
Kim, can you add to what you guys are doing in your business?
Well, Christina might be a bit better person because she's on the back end of the business, but I've been talking to also suppliers about getting longer terms. Christina, do you want to just add anything here?
Well, we've reached out to our landlord and we've asked help, in that department just to kind of soften the blow. I mean, the little things like our computer program, we're not using it to full capacity. So we asked them for some forgiveness. And, everyone so far has been working with us, just canceling unnecessary services like carpet delivery, things that aren't being utilized. It's just every little bit, we just need to do what we can to try to fill those holes in the boat. Payroll is a big one too, right? And we had to cut that one out, and we have to be smart and strategic as we're moving forward how we're going to do that, because I mean we gotta keep if we're going to keep the brick and mortar open, like that's a huge hit to us as business owners. So I think in a nutshell, that's all it for me.
Yeah, I don't disagree that really right now as a business owner, you've got to look at every opportunity. And, we're really lucky at the marketing agency. We have a financial guru as a partner, and he's just been all over on top of everything, every government program, every single, expense that we have, he's gone and seen what can we push, delay, what can we stop for now. Maybe we're not utilizing it, as you said. I think it's super important. We're going to come back to suppliers in a minute, because I really want to get your feedback on what you've seen as far as help from suppliers, but also what can they do for you. But before we do that, Justin, anything to add as far as what you're doing business-wise right now?
I think it's same thing. It's just like cutting out the carpet deliveries, window washing, just all the small things you don't even realize that when things are just rolling along. We went, in our shop, we went from great to zero. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that we don't even know that we were paying for every month, which we have to pay for. But, when no money's coming in, those little things make a big difference. So, and I have a great landlord. So we've had discussions with our landlord. No problem. And also, the suppliers, the same thing, talk to the suppliers. But, I deal with some small companies. They're in the same situation as me. So that's, they're freaking out just as much as we are a little bit. So, but anyways, I think we'll get through it.
Yeah. Well, Justin, stay on for a minute. We'll kind of backtrack around to everybody. But on that note, there's a lot of suppliers on here. I'm looking at, the different comments, and, the suppliers really want to help right now. What are you seeing when it comes to supplier partners? What can they do what do you want from them at this time, and how can they help you?
Well, I guess they can just stay in touch with me. I mean, I've had my business for a while, so most of my sales reps now are my personal friends, which is a great thing. But now it's a totally different world because, like I say, things are at zero now. But I think I've had a good relationship with my supplier, so I don't think it's going to be a problem for me to get through this, because I'm usually in their good books. So hopefully they'll help me out.
I think you're in their good books. In fact, you got a lot of fans out there from what I can see. People are putting a lot of great comments about you there, Justin. So,
oh, thank you.
Roberta, let's go to you. What about the supplier?
I have to say that everybody's been awesome. My year end is the end of May, so I tend to start cutting back on inventory, usually in January and February. So I'm not top heavy with a lot. I do have a couple of very large pending orders, and they have been absolutely awesome with helping and terms. And as Kim said, just going for longer terms. My landlord is, he's very sympathetic, but again, as Justin said, the lights stay on, the power bill still has to get paid, they still have to eat as well. So we're all working together, and I think everyone realizes that at the end, it'll all turn out for the best for all of us. It's all good.
Yeah. Justin, look at you've got somebody there saying you're their hero. That's Rachel Hill from Personal Optical. Christina, how about you?
Yeah, I guess my big concern is that the snowball effect, right? So we're good now, like everyone's talking now. So when we actually hit that, like everything's due, and keeping that dialogue open so that there is that, okay, you know what, 3 months might not be enough. We might need more than that. So that would be my big hiccup. But you know what, like I said, just keeping that dialogue open, I think would be the big hurdle to get over.
Totally agree. Kim, can you add anything to that?
What I want to add to the suppliers, and some of the suppliers having brand minimums, I think that is going to be something that is going to change dramatically in our industry, and also how we do business with the suppliers. Maybe them not bringing samples in. Maybe everything goes virtual. I don't know what that looks like exactly, but I think that we're going to see a lot of changes in our industry related to that.
Yeah, interesting. That, I never really thought about it in that respect, and I don't disagree. A lot of things will change, and especially if they can't, contact or sell to you personally right now, maybe this is the time for them to try to figure out how to do it virtually as well. It's interesting. We've been getting a couple of questions coming in. So I thought, I'll go to one, and some people are like, what are you planning on doing right now as far as sterilizing your office? Going forward, knowing that COVID-19 is all about, clean environments, clean surfaces. Any ideas around what you would want to do as far as your office going forward? And any one of you can jump in.
Well, because we still have modified. Oh, sorry. Can everyone hear me? Oh, I can't hear you guys.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Kim.
Okay, because we have modified hours, we do need to wipe down our surfaces, and also including our door. So anywhere that patient's going to touch, whether it be the handles on that pre-test chair, the chin rest, the forehead rest, the equipment in the examining room, after every patient, everything has to be wiped. So that's different. I'm also, every time we're open, I'm wearing rubber gloves, and as our doctors are also wearing rubber gloves and masks. So that's very different. At first, when I was wearing the gloves, I was like, oh, this is so, I can't touch the product. But I'm actually getting used to it. I don't really mind. You know, when you take that patient's glasses, you remember how we used to take them, put them into the ultrasonic right away? So now you're not getting anything on your actual hands. And so, yeah, rubber glove service, that's definitely a change that's happened for us.
Christina, you want to add something?
No, I just thought that was really funny, that, rubber glove service. I thought that was, I mean, the only other thing I could add possibly is that, we used to take frames that people put on and put them back on. Well, now we're just capturing them and throwing them back and putting them and sterilizing them through the ultrasonic and doing what we have to.
It's so funny because I saw a cartoon, I think it was on Opticians on Facebook yesterday, and somebody was trying on glasses in an optical store, and they're like, does this match my mask? So, yeah, just funny. Justin.
Well, actually yesterday, so I get my carpets cleaned every 6 months here at the store, but funny enough, the carpet cleaner phoned us yesterday and said they're an essential service, so they can come in, and if you want, before you sort of reopen again, they can come through and sterilize your whole store for you. They have a special license for this. I think it's going to be different, but I'm hoping that we get back to, people like us getting close to them, and that's why they come to us. So it's going to be, hopefully I don't have to use pool cues to put glasses on people, so, but that's why people come here, because of the service that they do get here. So yes, we're gonna probably wash our hands more so than ever, wipe down the doors more so than ever, but at the doctor's office they already do all that stuff anyways, but I'm sure it's going to change the way we do business too.
Anything to add? Oh, sorry.
The thing is, so I look at it like at a restaurant. I'm still going to go. I can't wait till I get back out and sit down in a restaurant and eat. And I'm excited about that. And I think hopefully once people start coming back to us, they're going to be excited about coming back into optical stores again. So
I don't disagree, and I think we probably as a community will think differently about cleanliness, about germs, about everything from here on in. But I hope it doesn't change human interaction as well. And I think that's a little bit up to us to make sure we find that balance of cleanliness and sterilization and human interaction and human touch. Roberta, sorry, did you want to add anything? I think you did already. Yeah.
There we go. Having problems with my mute today. It's interesting that we talk about this because we've always cleaned our stores. We've always made sure that frames are wiped down after people leave, and we've always wiped off our counters. And this service I have that came in and cleaned my store last week is something I do monthly anyways. And to Justin's point, the reason why people come to see us is because they enjoy the interaction, they enjoy the conversation, they love to see how different we can make them look. So I can appreciate that there's a generational thing that's going to want the virtual fit, but I think what makes us unique and what drives the independent is the personal service, is the fact that when they walk through our doors, we know who they are. We call them by name and we're happy to see them. And I think when things do go back to whatever our new normal is, that's what people are going to want, and that's what's going to bring them back through our doors. Just my 2 cents worth.
Agreed. I want to start by saying this based on something Justin just said about the carpet cleaning company. And this is where, again, when you think about what I first said about we spent 2 weeks in defense, now we're going to the offense, and we have to think maybe more innovative and maybe more different about how we can do business now, what we're going to do to keep busy, and then how we're going to prepare for the day we can open our businesses again. So that carpet company is thinking, you're closed, I can get some business because I can go in there and I can clean right now. So smart on them. And I'm seeing a lot of businesses be very innovative right now. So we've got, about 15 minutes left. I want to hear from each of you. What are you doing right now in your business to keep busy? Number one, what are you going to do? And then I want to hear what you're going to plan to really come out of this, swinging and ready to make up some of that revenue that you've lost. So let's go back the other way, Roberta.
So I guess to keep busy right now, there is year end to get ready for. Some plans for spring. We've always offered to our clients private parties. So if there's a group of girls in an office that want to come in an evening, we supply the drinks, and they come when the store's not open, and they have their private party. There's no obligation for them to buy, but it gives them an opportunity to interact a little bit more freely than they would when the store is open. So we'll try to book and organize a few of those. Our spring for us is always a great rollout for sunglasses. So we always start with our teasers and our social media, and maybe we'll work a little bit harder on that. And we're just going to keep telling people how excited we are for them to come back. But when the doors open again, the place will never be as clean. It'll never be as organized, and we're going to know where everything is. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I do expect it probably will be another 3 or 4 weeks before things slowly start to return to what we're going to call the new normal. That's my plan.
Great. Justin, how about you?
Well, one thing that I'm trying to do is sometimes when we're busy here, we don't shuffle the frames around enough, like redo the displays, and so that's one thing that I'm doing, like, maybe moving the men's section, the ladies section into different spots, so when people come back from a year and a half later, they're like, it's different in here. This looks good. This guy's trying to make changes. I'm just gonna be when that day we reopen up, I'm gonna have the biggest smile on my face and just greeting people. I don't know what else I can do different. I think I hope I've built up loyal clients, and as soon as the doors open up again, we're just gonna go back to normal, and those people are gonna need glasses, and hopefully they're gonna come here to buy their glasses. But and of course, my store, same thing. It'll never have been this clean in the last 15 years, and things will be in order, but it'll only take me a month to screw it all up if you ask my staff. So, but that's what I'm doing.
I love it. Christina.
For me, I feel that a really strong area for us would be to start our social media calendar and lay it all out on what our plans are, what we're going to do for the year going forward. Because now is the time. It's quiet. I think once the foot gets put back on the gas and we're able to start moving, we're going to be busy. We're not going to have time to start planning for a lot of this stuff. So I think that's going to be a big area for me. We've just relaunched our new website. Thank you for EPCS. Like, it was great. We've already got, on the first month we've already got, I think, about 20 to 30 appointment books, people who are wanting appointment books. So putting them into a book so that we can actually touch base to them and get the calendar full off, when we're ready to go. The other area, in our social media would be doing more massaging with our Google. And one area that actually we haven't even talked about that I've been recently exploring is Sightly. And I think it's an interesting opportunity for us opticians, where we can actually now take a little bit of our brick and mortar and put it into our customers' homes. Our loyal customers can still now buy from us, but at their own leisure. Right. So taking all these great things now, and this is the time, right, to start building on this stuff. We're not going to have time once it's busy.
Agreed. I know you guys work together, so Kim, she's probably answered a lot of what you're doing, but anything to add to that?
I just want to add that we've always talked about doing the e-commerce, and we've never had time to do it. And again, so she did mention about the Get Sightly program software. Taking that opportunity, and because we have the time, this is the time to to focus on that.
So I'll just tell you guys a few things on that note. So the last 2 days, it's all I've been doing is 2 webinars on e-commerce. And so Tuesday we had some optometrists and Get Sightly, which is a Toronto-based e-commerce solution, on a webinar that is fully recorded and on our website. I'm going to give you the link here in a sec. Actually, Kevin's going to post it in the chat box, and we have a bunch of resources there. So the webinars that we're doing, this one included, it'll be recorded and on there for you guys to view if you got here late and you missed anything. Yesterday, I did a full presentation for Seco University in the US on every e-commerce option available in our industry. So I spent 30 hours putting together every one I could find and what they do. They're all different. Some you can sell contact lenses, some you can sell more information on dry eye therapies to accessories and sunglasses. And then some are full e-commerce solutions where you can sell a full pair of glasses. They upload their prescription. We put together an ebook with every one of those, and that is available. Kevin just posted it. We have started a page on our website with resources that are free for all ECPs, so please take advantage of it. We're kind of wrapping up. We're on our last 10 minutes. Some interesting things came in some of the comments. One was, an easy way to do some quick maybe sales or even build a bit of a catalog online is to use your Instagram, is to go into your practice, take pictures of your frames, start posting them on Instagram, and saying, message me if you want more information or you want to buy this. I did see something very interesting about sterilization and using UV light, some UV light machine to sterilize maybe frames. I thought that was great. I also wanted to give you a little tidbit that I heard yesterday. And of course, this is, purely non-factual. It's what I was talking to a couple of companies, and they said that the online vendors, so 1-800 contact lenses, they are up 2,000% right now. So don't let all your business go. This is a time to, like we said, invest in some e-commerce, find ways to take your business back, get on the phone, call every one of your contact lens patients right now and say, potentially you could be home for 2 months. Can I send you a 3-month supply of contact lenses? The contact lens companies are offering free shipping right now. So many opportunities to take back some of this business. So, first and foremost, I really want to thank all the panelists. I want to go around right now and just ask you to leave everybody with a tip. One business tip, or it doesn't even have to be business, maybe even something inspirational. Let's, lift up this group right now with one last word of advice. And let's go the back way. So Kim, let's go to you first.
My advice would be, we're all in this together, and we'll make this together. We'll make it a success, and we actually have to be there to hang on with each other for support and lean on each other.
Thank you. Christina?
I would like to use my word as hopeful. I think that we're at a time right now where there's infinite possibilities, where we can hit the reset button right now, and we can do now the things that we wanted to do. Spend the time that we need to even just personally, like read a self-help book, or just get lost in something that you haven't done before, a hobby or something that you've got at home, that you keep putting off. My takeaway from this would just be, ask everybody to take one item and run with it. There's lots of great ideas that came forth today, but you can't do everything, but just focus on that one and run with it. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Christina. That's awesome. Roberta.
I guess my big thing is that I want people to be kind and be considerate. I find through this that it's changed people's perspective. And for the most part, I'd like to think, and I find that people are being a lot kinder and a lot more considerate of one another. So for that, I am truly appreciative. And I know that one of my favorite sayings is don't look back, we're not going there. So onward and upward. That's my 2 cents. Thanks so much.
And last but not least, Justin.
I think when you work in a busy environment and it's very busy, sometimes you take your customers for granted. And now when you've been totally shut down, you think about, even me, I'd be dying for that guy that every time he comes in my shop, I'm like worried because his ears always sore and no one can adjust his glasses properly. But it's not the brands that make your shop. It's your customers that make your shop and the way that you treat your customers. So I'm hoping this is going to make us even stronger in our customer service, because that's what makes your business, is your customers. So I can't wait to get the customers back.
I want to add to that the customers make your business, but so do you guys. You're the business as well, and each one of us is our business. So I want to end with a couple things, and one is, I've been through a lot in my life. I have been through some pretty crazy things, and some of the worst things in my life that have happened to me have resulted in some of the best things in my life that have happened to me, and pushed sometimes me in different directions. And those were the right directions. And so I leave you with this is, let's use this time to think differently and get innovative. And, as you guys have said, do the things that you sometimes haven't had time for. Don't let this be the end of your business. Let it be the start of a new business. We're here to help. Marketing for ECPs works with opticians and optometrists, and we help build your businesses. We want to help you. We work a lot with supplier partners as well. Please reach out if there's anything we can do. This is a great time for you guys to build your digital presence. So, everybody, the panelists, give everybody a wave. We're out of here. Thank you. Good to see everybody. Bye.